Hello there, friends. Oh, just a second. I didn't mute this camera. Just a sec. There we go. Can you hear me? Everything's good. Hello, friends. We were almost in stereo, right? So I'll just make sure everybody can see me. Hello, hello. Waiting for, there we go. Good. It's live. Friends, this is going to be so much fun tonight. I just came down and started messing around. And the most magical things happen when you have like just some really great products and some time on your hand. Not one hand, multiple hands. Hello, how are we? Hi, Kristen. Hi, Ellen. Hello, Natalie. Hi, Teresa, Sandy, Carolyn. So I see people are here from YouTube. People are here from Facebook. So we're good. How's everybody doing? You had a good week? It has been a whirlwind since the last time I saw you. I taught at Scrap Fest this past weekend. It was awesome. I had 150 spots in my classes, so not 150 students per se, because a lot of people took all three classes, but it was phenomenal. Great event. Lisa from Scrap Fest and her team put on a great event. It was wonderful to hug so many friends and to spend some time creating. And then, because I'm crazy, I came home and did a live class that you can get access only still for the new Simple Stories vintage balloon. What's it called? Somebody help me. And the new Brighton collection from Bo Bunny. I did 9 hours live on Sunday. It was crazy and awesome. The layouts are upstairs, or I would show you. But we made 6 double page layouts and then 2 bonus layouts. So it was crazy. So it was a lot of fun. And hi, Evelyn. It's still winter here on the West Coast, snowing again. I know we got like summer and then winter all in 1 week. It's crazy, right? It's just this time of year what you're going to get. But we're packing up, Devin and I, and heading off for a quick little vacation tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. And then thought I would come on and do Friday Night Live on Thursday night so that I could share some amazing products that my friend Tim Holtz and Advantis sent me a box of his new release. So the stamps, the stencils, right up my alley. Totally freaking love them. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do tonight. And I'm like, let's grab the black foundations paper and the new Cosmic watercolors with some oxide inks, and let's see what magic is going to happen. And freaking magic happened. Are you ready? What do I have here? Seriously. So look at, can you see that sparkle? It's going to blind you, so be prepared for it. But look at, I know, with the oxide on the black foundations paper. So as Tim and I are going to a party, it's formal. We're going to go to formal night and we're going to play with some mixed media. I'd suggest not wearing white like I have on tonight if you play along, if you have some stuff already, because it's going to get messy up in here. Are you ready for you guys who like a little bit more contained funk? I'm gonna peek at this to you. Oh my goodness, that's with the new alphabet stamp. These watercolors, what makes them, so this just, I'm going to show you when we flip the camera. So it was lots of trial and error, like stamping in it, brayering, putting it on a little heavier. Depending on the stamp, the stencil, you're going to get different effects. But holy moly, this here is just with oxide ink on the foundations. Loving that. And then the rest are with the new Cosmic watercolors right here and the black foundations paper. It is going to be so much fun. So tonight I thought I was going to make it a layout, and now I was having so much fun playing. I feel like I would rather give you a little mixed media lesson, and we'll probably repeat this because if anybody's looking, it just says that we're going to try the new stamps and stencils. So you won't know that this is also a Cosmic watercolor kind of thing, right? But it is. It's going to be so much fun. And it doesn't matter if you are a scrapbooker, a card maker, if you do altered projects, there should be something for all of you in this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to play tonight. And then when I come back, we're going to do a deep dive. So we're just going to mess around tonight, and then we're going to do a deep dive. The watercolors are Vicki Boutin watercolors. So they're my brand with American Crafts. They are called Cosmic Watercolors, and the color for this one is Gems. Sorry, with the light reflecting on the plastic. You're going to see them in action tonight. It's going to be good. I know your birthday is coming, as mine was yesterday. Happy birthday, Lori. Yes, on Tuesday. My birthday's on Tuesday. So I will be on a cruise ship with my daughter. I'll post pictures for sure. And I said, Dev, every other day of the year is all about you because you're my sweet girl. Can Tuesday be all about your mother? Will you be super nice to me? So I think she's going to be. I'll report back. I think it's going to happen. So very excited. Any questions before we get started? Did you guys see Tim's live? I wasn't able to see the live yet. I'm going to watch it while I'm floating on that ship on the ocean. I'm going to watch the live because I'm so inspired. Always by his creative team and by the master himself. But I'm just doing this without having seen anything that anybody's making with this stuff yet. So I was just excited. The box arrived. I ripped it open going, what's in here? And it was all the new release from Stampers Anonymous. I love the stencils. I love the stamps. I'm very excited to play around with all that stuff. Hi, Serenity. One daughter's 23 tomorrow, and my other one is 20 on Sunday. Well, happy birthday to your girls that are Tauruses, right? Like me, bullheaded crazies, right? It is a vacation, Ellen. It is not a cruising crop. It is a Vicki Boutin goes on vacation with her daughter, Devin. So yeah, it's just me. So Tim's live was amazing. No doubt I just was teaching, so I didn't get to see it, but I have all of it now, and I'm going to show you how I would use the products. I do not think you'll be disappointed in any of them. They really are amazing. So when I flip the camera around, be prepared because my desk is a mess because I started playing. I couldn't wait for you guys. So I wanted to see how it all worked before I went live. So very excited to share this with you. I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to get right into it. If you have any questions, let me know. Oh, the other thing very exciting is my huge order of Where to Next. My newest collection with American Crafts arrived on Monday. We have started kitting it. We're just waiting. The only thing that is not in stock yet is the album pages, the plastic inserts, and some of the chipboard pieces. So we're going to get everything. They're working on it while I'm away, get that stuff kitted. And I'm leaving the dates as is for right now. Cause I'm hoping we can kit like beasts. And then I will just be doing full on fulfillment once the albums come, which are supposed to ship the first week of May. So I think we should still be okay. I'm going to leave it, but those dates could change. I might have to push it out a week so that I can get everything here. So if you're interested in that, the kit is humongous. I think it's my biggest kit yet. You can get that on vickyboutin.com. I'll be putting up when I get back, and kits are almost gone. We've almost sold through this. So vickyboutin.com. If you want to play with my whole weekend event, it's not a weekend event, it's a couple weeks event, right? By the time we do bonus classes and all the rest of it. So if you haven't played before and you're thinking about it, this might be the one for you. So definitely check it out on vickyboutin.com. If you have any questions, let me know. Hello, Natalie May. I sent my humongous order off to Australia as well. And that's what Natalie said. This is a juicy kit. I'm like, yes. For any of my friends that are going to be joining me in Australia, it's going to be the best of Vicki Boutin. There's going to be a little bit of a whole bunch of collections. It's going to be really good. Lots of mixed media. It's going to be really fun. So that has shipped. Spokane order has shipped. So 3 craft chicks have that. And then as well, my orders have shipped to Michelle in New Zealand. So we're ready. All of the things have gone and it was a nightmare, but I survived it like I always do. So it's going to be good. So Natalie just posted here. There's still spots. If you are in Australia, you have enough time to plan that no matter where you are in Australia, I'm hoping that you come and spend the weekend with me. It's going to be really magical. We're going to put on a really great event. Natalie really goes all out, so it's going to be great. And if I think there's still some spots for the cruise if you want to cruise with Michelle and I as well. So I don't think she's on here tonight, but definitely check that out. So it's going to be fun. Got lots of good stuff coming down the pipeline. And any of my friends on the cruise to Australia, that's what we're kitting right now, are all, not Australia, to Alaska. All those kits are being kitted, and there's going to be 50 extra of those kits using the new Heidi Swap set sail. So when I post those, be ready. And they're huge. It's going to be like an event weekend, because everything I'm putting in for the cruise people is going to go in the extra 50 kits that I'm going to be kitting. So be ready for it. Where do we find out about cruises? For ones from here, from North America, is cruiseandcrop.com. There's a whole bunch of cruises listed there, including mine. And we're working on some new ones because most of mine are sold out. But for Australia, it would be, I have to get Michelle Widow because I don't know. Natalie, can you help me? What's her event called? Creative Adventure Down Under, I believe. So yeah, that's going to be good. So Natalie is here with us tonight. She couldn't join me at Scrap Fest because she had a sick dog. But I believe her dog is feeling better, right? Last time we talked about the puppy, he was feeling better. So Nat will let us know. Okay, so flipping the camera. Enough of looking at me. Let's do the things. Let's do the things. And see what I was talking about? It's a freaking mess. It's a freaking mess because I was playing, having a great time. I've got some water here, got all my stuff ready, and we are going to talk about the new stamps, the new stencils, and for fun, because I know a lot of you guys have purchased it, and I have not put my share sale links because, yeah, in typical Vicky fashion, Natalie got them all ready for me, but I haven't had a chance to post them. So that would be awesome if you are going to be shopping for any of this stuff and you click my links. It costs you nothing, but it helps me bring you all this free content. Okay, so Natalie, I don't know. I need to get her access so she can just put it on my on the YouTubes and all the other things, because I just, put all this stuff together, and then Vicky's a hot mess, right? Creative messes are a-okay. Thank you, my friend Karen. She'll add them. Natalie will add them. She's the best. So, like I said, I opened this box of Magic Up. So I was going to put it all back on the sets before we got started tonight, but I got playing, and you know how that goes, right? I was going to order from Simon Says Stamps. Do you have affiliates with them? I do, Cindy. I do. So Natalie will throw those up there. If you follow any of the links, it'll work. Even if it's not for the specific product that you're using, it will work. But I have for Simon Says Stamps, a cherry on top, and scrapbook.com, which actually scrapbook.com just posted or put up where to next. So not everything, because like I said, there are certain items that are not in stock yet. But they put up their main order. So if you've been looking for that, it's going to be so much fun. So much fun. Hi, Scrappy Guy. Never forget, a hot mess is still hot. That's a great way to look at it. That is a great way to look at it. I'm telling you, when I start creating, anything can happen. And I was coming down here and it was all laid out really pretty. And then I went, okay, I can't wait. I can't wait till 8 o'clock. So let's start trying the things out. And then this is what happened. So what's kind of fun about tonight is a lot of times I would do samples and show you the samples, and then we would just start making the things. But what has happened, because I've been getting ready, kitting orders, doing shipping, tonight there wasn't, or this week wasn't a lot of time for being in my studio. So I thought this will be a perfect Thursday night live because I can't be here on Friday. And we can just use the new stamps and stencils that I got because I'll play live with you guys. And then what ended up happening is I decided, hey, let's use the new black foundations paper and see what happens with some oxide inks and magic happen. So there are some beautiful new stamps and stencils in Tim's latest collection from my friends at Stampers Anonymous, a great company. You guys already know I love Tim and I love Stampers Anonymous. So the stamps that came out and the stencils that came out in this collection are very mixed media. They are very mixed media inspired for the stencils, at least the stencils. So look at this one. I love it. This kind of funky, crazy rainbow, or mermaid scales, fish scales, whatever you want to call this. Love, love, love this. And then look at little honeycomb action going on here. Absolutely love it with the broken edges. And then looks like little paint, little brush strokes. So love that. This one is called Brush Mark. Brush Mark. This one, the package I've lost, is called Brush Arch. Brush Arch. And this one is called Brush Hex for hexagons. Absolutely loving them. And then they come in the minis. So the little mini set, which is really fun for tags or anything smaller scale. The other thing is I would layer these on so I have two scales of the same pattern. Absolutely love this. Brush strokes would be great for swatching. It would. I love it. I have one that's similar. I don't think I have it here in my exclusives that I only have on VickyBooten.com, which I will love working with because mine are long brush strokes. This is going to go beautifully and layer perfectly on those. So if you guys bought those in the past, they're going to work beautifully. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? The longer ones, of course, they're not on my desk, but will work pretty with that. Love it. And then love the mini for change scale or for card making or tags. And then these are fun. This is kind of mark making, this set. And this one is called Element Stencils Everyday Art. Look how fun these are. So you know that I'm going to be layering the heck out of all of this stuff. Like I said, tonight is going to be just like kind of an intro. I'm not even touch the surface, right? So look at how fun. Just different little marks that you would make in mixed media and layering. They're going to be beautiful. So look at that. Absolutely fabulous. So even though they're small scale stencils, I'd be masking these and just using them for individual little art, right? And layering on, you could layer it on a background for a scrapbook page. You could put it in your art journal, on cards, whatever you're doing. Love this. Like, oh, that is going to be a favorite. This will be right here in front of me all the time. I'll be using these stencils. Absolutely love them. So a lot of what we do, just hand drawn. When you join me on Friday Night Lives, now you have something quick that you can use. And like I said, I mask these and use them for layers, right? The little flowers. So absolutely fabulous. Look at the little leaf. Love it. The hearts, circles. It's a snowman. And the little flowers. So we're going to play tonight. And then let me show you the new stamp sets. And I want you to guess which one you think is my favorite. You're probably going to be surprised. There's one here that I'm absolutely very excited to use. I love them all, but one I'm very excited to use. So this new one is called Bold Botanicals. Look at this one. Love it for multiple reasons. I love that they're rectangles. I love contained art. And I love anything that you can do geometrics in. So this I'm totally going to love using in multiple ways. I'm going to be doing a lot of art with these. This is probably one of my, other than some of the butterflies that have come out, absolutely love this release. So botanical butterflies, Bold Botanicals. This one to me is like just screams Tim Holtz, doesn't it? It's called the Inspector, and I love it. My favorite part of this whole stamp is this alphabet, because you know I love bits that I can layer, but loving this guy too. The Inspector. And then just all these little pieces that are just scream Mr. Holtz. Absolutely love it. So this is called the Inspector. Love this set that you can use for all seasons. This is going to be a great thing to layer on tags or in your art journal or even on layouts. I am going to do something. This is right up my alley for making grids and circles and layering all the pieces. So you know I'm going to make a layout out of this stamp, because a lot of what you're going to be seeing are cards and tags. I am 100% going to make a layout out of this. So it will be coming down the road. This one is called Note Quotes. And it says like, hello there, you got this, shine bright, make today count in my heart, let it snow, joy to the world, trick or treat, boo to you. I could put V-boo to you. I love it. So that one is called Note Quotes. And then we have this one, which is absolutely stunning. Floral Trims. Absolutely love this. Can't wait to color it in. Can't wait to stamp it and emboss it and color it with lots of different mediums. Absolutely stunning. And you know, I make cards, but I'm not predominantly a card maker. I'm predominantly a maker. I'll make all of the things. I can see so many things, monochromatics with these, so many things that you can do. Use it as a background. This will be gorgeous on a layout. This one is called Floral Trims. This is going to definitely be one of my favorites. Love it. And then how freaking awesome is this? It's called Tiny Prints. Again, multiple choices and uses for this one for me for layering. I would stamp this through a stencil. Let's try that tonight. You got to remind me, because if your stencil has big enough openings, how fun would this be through a stencil? So we're going to do something magical with this, but I could see a lot of paper piecing with this and kind of paper quilting, because these look like quilting patterns to me, fabrics, don't they? Absolutely love this. This one is called Tiny Prints. Love it. And then this one is called Creative Blocks, and it is freaking fabulous. This is freaking fabulous. This makes my brain explode with ideas, all the things that I'm going to be making with this. So I'm going to tell you, this one is my favorite. I love them all, but there's something about this. Absolutely freaking love it. Creative Blocks. Oh my goodness. Could you see like using this and putting your journal strips on it? And just watch, because tonight is going to be kind of just an intro to these. I'm going to dedicate, I think, a whole, I'm going to order some of these so that I can do a giveaway. Why don't we, how do you guys feel about International Scrapbook Day? What would you guys like to see me create? Or I know you'll be flopping all over because there's so much stuff going on our national crafting holiday, but I think it would be fun. See, now I'm just throwing it out there. What if I do 3 blocks of things that inspire me lately, and I'm going to do 3 huge giveaways in that. So even if you're popping around, I'm going to order some of these stamp sets, probably this one for sure, and do a giveaway. So look at that day on International Scrapbook Day, I would do this as a giveaway, this, the black foundations paper, and a set of stencils. So that would be one of the blocks. The other thing I'm going to do is a proper video using the printmaker. So we're going to be doing a printmaker video, and I'm going to be giving another printmaker away. And then I'm going to do something with where to next, and then give a where to next giveaway away. Oh my goodness, are you ready for it? I'm going to give a where to next weekend event away. So on National Scrapbooking Day, I think that I can do stuff on that day. If not, it'll be the day after or whatever. If you guys come and join me, information, I'm going to work on it while I'm going to be away, is going to be 3 blocks. I'm going to be on all day. I'm going to go on all day. I'm going to inspire you with things to create. I'm going to stock up my store so you guys can shop. And I'm going to do 3 huge giveaways. So it's just get ready for it. It's going to be good. Are the small stencil sets the same as the single ones? These ones, do you mean? Yeah, the small one, look, it is exactly the same, just in smaller scale, which are great for cards, but great for layering as well. So I opened this box, was inspired by all of it. There's not one that I like really better than the rest. I love them all. Problem is, your day is our night. Yeah, well, it'll be recorded though, Hazel, right? You can watch it whenever. But yeah, I can't change that, right? Is I live in Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Time. And I know some of you guys are in Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. So you either decide to pull an all-nighter and tell your family, leave you alone, sleep during the day and craft at night, or watch it recorded, right? You're driving Natalie crazy. Why? Because I just threw that all out. No, I'm not. She's good. Natalie loves it. She's like, Vicky, give me more. We are definitely matched perfectly, because I think she likes crazy as much as I do. I'm used to it. So I'm scribbling stuff. Yeah, because I'm going to be like, I don't remember anything that I said, but I'm going to work on it while I'm away. I'll get all the graphics ready. I've already talked to not scrapbook.com, American Crafts. So the printmaker is already happening. I'm taking an intensive course with one of the girls who uses it all the time. So that's going to be magic. So if you've bought one of those and haven't pulled it out of the box like me, I've only used it a couple of times. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. We're going to do more with this whole collection of goodies because I'll have time to play with it prior to that. And then I'm going to do a giveaway from Stampers Anonymous and some of the mediums that I use. And then we will do a whole collection, like the whole event weekend, which what is that valued at? 200 Canadian dollars. You'll get the kit and access to that. If you already own the kit, I'll just give you, I'll give you a gift certificate for the value of the weekend event. And then you can spend it on whatever you want. But the whole idea is, right, you could do the event. Yay, I love it. That just came together. So now I have a plan for National Scrapbook Day. And I will be here crafting with you all day. And it will be on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. I won't do it on Facebook and YouTube. I'm only going to do it on YouTube so that we make sure the quality of the video is really good. So when I came down here and started playing, my friends, I knew I had all this magic and I'm like, what am I going to use tonight? I can use distress oxides or distress ink. Definitely, I'm a lover of it. If you said, what colors do you need? I would tell you all of them in both distress and oxide, because I do think that the value is beyond amazing. It is one of the best products, I would say, on the market. Love my oxides. Love that the color family is spread across a whole bunch of different products. So I'm a lover of this. I never feel bad when I make you buy a new color. I just feel like I'm helping support your habit in a good way, in a good, healthy way. So I love those. Like I said, I love the first set of watercolors that came out. And then this is all really magical on black paper. So on dark, you could use it on navy. The other thing you're going to learn tonight is they're kind of magical because when you wet them, there's tons of pigment in these. So they aren't going to go down on your background with hardly any pigment. You could use them as little with more water, less product, or almost like a paint just by adding more water. And I have some ideas. This is going to be a whole video on its own, ways that we can turn these, I think, into texture paste. So just get ready for it. Make a note of that. Okay, Nat, is that I need to do a whole Friday night on the new watercolor paints. So that's coming. It's going to be so good, right? Growing a good hobby plus supporting a habit, right? I don't feel bad about it. I know for summer, like you only have so many dollars to spend. So I'm always like, just as better than anybody where you want to invest your hard-earned bucks. Do you know what I'm saying? If you love stamp stencils dies, spend your money on the newest set that came out that you absolutely love. If you love doing mixed media or you're right into trying it, then get the mediums. and get the foundations paper in black and white. That I don't feel bad about. If you like 12 by 12, you need foundations paper. I don't think there's anything else out there that's like that. So you definitely really want it for that size. Hello, Kim. What's wrong with on one foot? What, you're hopping on one foot? I got lost there. I tell my husband it's a healthy addiction. I would agree with you and back that up. I will be your support team with that, Danielle. I agree. I got an order with black foundations paper and those metallic paints. Can't wait to paint. Oh, you broke your foot. How'd you do that, silly lady? That's no fun. So let me show you. These are the things I sat down and started playing with. There's one more of them somewhere. Oh, it's still in the pad. Are you ready? So I pulled my foundations paper. So this was supposed to come out with Print Shop. And I said, let's wait, because I wasn't happy with the product. Now I'm totally happy with the product. So what makes foundations paper special is it has a vellum finish. So when you're putting wet mediums on, they sit on top of your paper instead of soaking right in, and you get very vibrant, amazing results. So not everything is going to work on black foundations paper. Regular distress ink will not show on here because it's a translucent pigment. You won't see any of it. You would need to use oxide ink is what I've used here, because it is a milky finish, right? So it's like almost like a pastel. So it sits and creates a beautiful color. Probably not every color will look amazing on here, but this one certainly did, which is Mermaid Lagoon. Love it on there. So what I ended up doing here, and I'm going to show you tonight, is I put the watercolor paints on a stencil and stamped it, and then put the pigment through it. I absolutely love this, right? Love that. So it sits on top of the medium, and can you see that sparkle? Sits on top of the foundations paper and is absolutely gorgeous. How I started is like, can I stamp those flower stamps and will you still be able to see the pattern? So my thought with that is yes, but they are a little bit more on the detailed side. So you're going to get kind of a looser interpretation. But this, look at that with the copper. Absolutely stunning. And then I went in with the stamp and I tried oxide ink. So I went with fossilized amber and it worked beautifully. And then I went, oh, I bet you the leftover medium that I have, what happens with this stencil isn't super detailed. What can I do? So I stamped with the leftover copper, that background. Oh my goodness, it's almost like a Ouija board or something, right? Totally funky. This would be awesome for Halloween. And then I put two-tone pigment and stamped that and then put some dots. So for watermarking with these are going to be amazing. Like if you do a card and you want to just put some little glitter dots on the back, or a layout, you just want a little bit of glitter, then it's going to be magic. And then I went in and I played with a little bit more wet medium, which look at. So I'm going to show you something. And that was just cleaning my stencil. So when we're doing things, I always say, why wipe it off on a paper towel? If you can make something magical out of it, I would do that. So now watch when it's contained, like look how pretty that would be for a background of a card. Put a couple more dots of pigment on there, and then you could stamp and die cut some flowers or butterflies or whatever. And that's a background for a card that you would have just wiped all of that dirty stencil off on a paper towel. So I'm going to show you how I did the things. And then this one was putting the watercolor through the stencil. So of course it was a little bit wet, so it really bled under, but I still love the effect. So we're going to try some different things. Yeah, and a tag and a mini book. Yeah, whatever you want to do, right? So if you just cut your pieces out, look, you could die cut stuff out of this, would be beautiful. And then this one was the wet stencil with the oxide ink, and then I watermarked it a little bit. and then went, ooh, it's kind of wet. Too much water on that one, although I'm kind of really, look at that. And I love it. Love it. And this was just messing around, literally messing around. Lots of moisture on the foundations paper, and it still holds its shape beautifully. Absolutely love this. And like I said, right, all of this magic happened. So let's play. Let me show you what I did. Let's see what we can get, right? Hello, Tara. So my friend Tara is here. She was my TA at Scrap Fest and was absolutely amazing. Hello, Robin. Oh my goodness, one of my Robins is here. I love it. I've missed you guys. So very, very, very happy to have you here. Looks like a mermaid tail. It totally does, right? My friend Jen Shirkus must love that because it looks like a mermaid tail and she loves mermaids. So I'm going to use this. So little tips and things if you, whoops, almost threw it all on the floor because I have a little bit of a mess here. Hello, Irene. How are you? We're going to play with some magic. Look at this magic, Irene. Irene will love this. Look at that, Irene. The new watercolors with Tim's new Advantis release on black foundations with some oxide. Love it. Okay, you ready? So with foundations paper, when I tear it out, I never take the backing off until, isn't this interesting? I think it was in the pad backwards. So we're going to have to do a little tester because you feel the perforation mark is usually the front of the paper. So I'm going to have to do some testing samples. So I'm not telling you anything about this just yet because I don't know if all the pads are like that or just that one if it got put in backwards. That's going to be an interesting little look at. So the back of this paper, the perforation. So maybe it's got a vellum finish on the front and back, but I don't think so. I'm going to have to do some tests. So don't listen to anything I just said there. I'll follow up with that. Because normally, right, I tell you guys how to tell the front and back of the paper is running your finger across this perforation. The front is smooth and the back has the little dots where the perforation pops through. It's in the pad the other way. So it's going to be interesting to see which side is the vellum finish, because I'm going to say it is in the pad backwards. So little tip, I think it's in the pad backwards. Okay, so I am going, let's cut it in half. Let's see if we get different effects. Isn't that interesting? The bump side is up on yours. So maybe it's just that pad, right? Maybe it's just that pad. Sometimes yes, Lorraine, because the vellum finish is usually only on one side of pattern or any paper, right? So this side here is the dots to the back. So this is what I think would be the front of the paper. And then this one is with the dots on the front. Okay, so I'm going to make a note on them if I can. Do I have a gel pen? Okay, what I think is front and back. My gel pen is not working, but my friend Gina Kay just did like some kind of amazing post talking about how to get your gel pens working. I'm going to try all of the things. I do everything Gina tells me to do because she's smart. Her, Jen McGuire, all those card makers, they're so smart. They're the smart crafters, right? I love it. I'll be the funny crafter. I don't know if I fall into the smart one sometimes, right? So I'm going to clean my brayer because I was using that, because when you're using different mediums, you got to figure out what the best way to apply them, right? And when it's a wet medium and you want a level application, how will it go on with a brayer, a brush, right? Stamping into it. So I was playing around. So I do have my brayer out. I'm going to clean up. This is going to be on my face. I'm telling you, when I was flicking the stuff around. So let's talk about some things. Let's use a couple of the different stencils. Now, you saw some things. I really, really want to get this one out here. So this one, again, is called Brush Hex. Brush Hex. Smart Crafter. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for the support. You know, people get mad at me when I say stuff like that. So I will not say I'm not smart. I don't mean I'm not smart. I'm just saying my friends, the card makers always come up with some freaking clever stuff. Like I always feel like it's things I would never, or how to use tools or how to fix your warped plates and just really, really amazing stuff. So let's try with this Brush Hex. And what about stamps? Let's do this too. Now, I don't know if this is too detailed. Let's see what will happen. Too detailed. We'll figure it out. We're going to see what happens. Oh, look at you guys all lifting me up. I was not looking for, if you guys are like, oh, look at her fishing for compliments. I wasn't, I promise. So I want to see this stamp, but let's just go in with oxide. And I don't even have a stamping block. I'm not even putting it on anything. I'm going pretty loose tonight, okay? But I want to see, what is this going to stamp like on the black? With Mermaid Lagoon. Let's just try it. And try not to move it, Vicky. I'm going to try. Because, you know, when you go rogue like this, right, sometimes it doesn't work as well. Oh, my goodness. Natalie, did you just like literally, did your brain just blow up? Natalie loves anything with black, but look at that on here. Like shooting fish in a barrel, right? Yeah, that sounded like I was like fishing for a compliment. So do you like me? Do you think I'm smart? SMRT? So look how fun that is. I know, Keisha, right? So let's see how this is going to stamp with I'm putting this on this sheet of plastic just so I can cover my paper. So when I am using these, I like to get them started by just spray a little bit of water in it. And then now I'm probably spraying all over my background. So by doing this, it just softens your watercolor up and it makes the pigments flow a lot easier. Okay, so let's go in and see if the stamp is too detailed to use the watercolor or not. I'm going to try it because what do we got to lose? So let's try the turquoisey one. Let's see what we get. Now this turquoisey one, I don't know if the pigment is going to be turquoise pigment or if it's going to be iridescent pigment. We will see. I think it's turquoise pigment though. So do you see how much pigment's in there? Look at that. Look how much just went down on that mat. It wasn't, what is Vicky trying to say? Like really clear with just a little bit of pigment. There is a ton of pigment in these watercolors, okay? So I'm going to try with this. We're going to do a couple different things. Let's see if we just drag the stamp through that. Oh, I think it's going to work. Let's see what we get, okay? I think it's going to work. Just don't move it around, right? Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. So it definitely, you could totally stamp with that, and it is turquoise. I absolutely love that. Look at. Vicky's got to be careful because I have a white top on today. So see, look. Love it. So let's clean the stamp off. Just going to take a baby wipe. Oh my goodness, my friends. I love this stamp too. I love, love, love it. I love it for scrapbooking. You watch, we're going to do some amazing things with it. This is just kind of a, hey, I wanted to see you guys before I leave for 5 days. So I'm doing an impromptu little live, but I'm going to put more planning into another one, okay? So I'm going to stamp it again in the copper color. And then we're going to do something with the turquoise with the stencil. I need an apron. Yes, I do. I should just take my shirt off until I turn the camera back around. Vicky will be like, yep, clothes are optional. I'm going to drag this through. Let's see what happens. What is going to happen? I don't know. Okay, look at that. Let's see. Now, it might not be enough pigment. Sometimes it's not. Let's give it a little mist. And let's put that down like that. I like to press it with a paper towel so I don't move pigment around. And let's see what we get. Naked Vicky Media Channel. You just wouldn't know, right? Because you don't know what I'm wearing on the other side of the camera. Okay, so let's let this just sit and marinate for a minute because, right, plastic non-porous, paper has a vellum finish, so it takes a little bit for the medium to sit in there to sink into the paper. So if I lift it right away, it's like a suction and it'll suck all the pigment up with it. So I'm just going to leave it on here for a second and I'm going to peek. Oh my goodness, wait till you see it. Okay, so other things we could do is we could mist this and you could kiss the background. Lots of different things. But what do we want to do? What was I going to do? Oh, I wanted to see it on here. So let's try some things. I'm going to try some things. The other thing I wanted to do, I don't want to give too much away tonight. There's things we're going to do. We're going to save it for our International Scrapbook Day. So let's see. Like, look at what we do. I almost like the song that just came to head, right? Came to my head when I just sang that is what would you do for a Klondike bar? So let's see if we just wanted to go on here and put some loose pigment through the stencil. Now it's going to bleed, right? Because it is very wet. But let's see. Do we get a pattern? A little bit, right? So is this would this be good in a very loose pattern that you don't really have to like circles or something that isn't super defined? Yes, that would work, right? You could also stamp what's left on there and then go through it with some ink. And you could have a stamping stencil, which you know is a big technique I've been doing for years and years, right? So, and Vicky moved it. So we just got to commit. So like, look at, you're going to have some little blue dots around that. Something I wanted to test. Okay. So that pigment went on there. Look at this. Let's grab this. That pigment really showed up on this background. I am really thinking this is the back of the paper you're going to really be able to tell with oxide because the back of this paper should be more porous, meaning the ink soaks right in. If it's the front of the paper, it should not soak in as easily. So yeah, it is in the pad, I think, backwards, friends. Right? So there are so many things we can do. And you notice, oh my goodness, look at just what just happened over here. I got to do this again. I'm loving it. So I'm all over the place. Just give me a sec. Do you have questions as we're going? If you're new here and you're like, what the heck is she doing? I will happily. So I stamped it with the dirty stencil. And then I am just doing some watermarking through that stencil. But oh my goodness, on this black. Oh my goodness, on this black. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, Look at that. Now that the moisture is dried and all you have left is pigment. How can you definitely tell the front and back of your paper? It's very subtle, Lorraine. It's not going to be something that I just know the difference because some of the mediums will soak into the paper faster. So I will notice that the paper might pill faster. It'll be the back because the back of the paper won't have the vellum finish. And that's usually where the perforation, you can feel the perforation will be the back. Is it noticeable enough that I don't know if anybody else would notice other than me? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I really, really think it's a pretty subtle difference. We'll see you later, Karen. But don't forget, when I do the National Scrapbook Day, it's going to be during the day. So you can join me because I know you've got little kitties to look after in the morning. So let's just do a mess. But oh my goodness, seriously. And these pigments. So I'm going to do all the colors on a page. Let's grab another sheet. Is there anything you want to see? Do you have questions? Because you're like, hey, because she has it out there, Vicki, will you show me how this looks on there? And I will test it right now. So if there's like something you want to see, let me know because I'll go through the whole pad. The bumps should indicate the back. Correct. I know, Don. I know. You know you're going to need it. Your stamps would look so gorgeous on here with all the different, can you imagine, with like metallic embossing powder and anything that has a chalkiness to it, right? But it's, listen, it's thick. So if you like to do, here, let's do a wet medium. Let's put this leftover turquoise. If we wanted to do a kissing technique, right? Let's add a little bit more pigment. Maybe I'll add a little bit of the goldy-ish color in there. Look at this, okay? So we want to do a kissing technique on the background before we're going to run it through our Cricut or our silhouette, or this is for a scrapbook page. So you know, I like the kissing technique. It's wet, everything's moving around. What will it look like when we use all of this moisture on this background? So there's not a ton of pigment on here, okay? So we would play around with this, but will it buckle or is it going to hold its shape? That was a lot of water, right? So I'm going to now float some more pigment in there. Oh my goodness. It's like it just shimmers all over the page. Okay, Vicki, I'm going to put paper towels on the front of my shirt. I like this shirt, so I'd really rather not put paint all over it. So this, I'm tucking this into my shirt like we're going for lobster. I'm at Red Lobster right now. Don't want to get the butter all over my shirt. So Vicki is just tucking it into her shirt. It looks, yes, like exactly Aurora Borealis. Look at. Okay, Vicki is going to be wearing it. Oh my goodness, friends. Let's put some more of that coppery color. Oh my goodness, the techniques that we're going to be doing with this later. Tonight is just showing you. It's just kind of showing you. The more pigment you get in here, the more color you're going to have. Because what's different with this pigment comparatively to the first Vicki Boutin watercolor set is the pigments were translucent or transparent. So when you looked at the colors on those watercolor, it was a dye in the pigment. And then the glitter was all a silvery mica. These ones, the micas in this, are actually colored pigment. So you are going to get a whole different effect with these than you would with
the first ones, I just want to move it around so it doesn't look forced, right? Love it. Okay. Can you see it on there? Let me show you, because all you can see is a reflection with the lights. You can't really see the pigment. It is really, really stunning. Can you see the pigment now? Let me try to get the glare off. Can you see that? It is so beautiful, right? What are these watercolors? They're the new ones, Lori, for my collection. So I have them on vickybooten.com. Natalie has shared share sale links as well, because they should be in all the shops now as well. If you're going to shop at scrapbook.com, Simon Says Stamps, or cherry on top, if you use my share sale links, it costs you nothing. But like I said, it helps me do these lives for you guys. So comes with a watercolor pen too, a water brush in there. It's included. It's not just like for pretend. It's in there. Okay. So I want to show you now. Let's try a couple different things. So what would happen if I make a pigment out of it and I stencil that through my stencil? So let's go in with the copper color. So I'm just getting a lot of pigment, putting it on my mat. Okay. Oh my goodness. Look at this, friends. You wait. This is a technique. This something's good magic is going to happen. I'm going to remember this. This is going to happen on National Scrapbook Day, because what just happened there, you guys need to see that in real life. Okay, I'm going to try that. There's some distress ink on here, but I'm going for it. So I'm loading up an ink blending tool. And let's happen what happens when I pounce it through my stencil. Oh my goodness. You want to know what happens? Magic happens. Holy crap. The pigment is so thick in these watercolors that it totally, look at this, is holding its shape. Oh my goodness. Yes, that just happened. So these are a watercolor, right? Watercolor. It shouldn't do this. It should bleed under your stencil. Seriously. Love that. Love these stencils, Mr. Holtz. Let's show you on the rainbow one. Okay. Let's load it up. It is like using a metallic ink with my stencil. And there's a dryer application. Oh, love it. I love it. I love these. Seriously. So, what else can we do? Let's pull out Vicky's favorite stamp and let's see what kind of detail we can get from one of these, because we're doing a whole background in these little babies. We're going to sew on it. We're going to on National Scrapbook Day, we're going to make a paper quilt out of these. Get ready for it. So okay, there's a decision. If you purchase this stamp set, I am going to do a whole project using multiple techniques with this stamp set. And it is called Creative Blocks. So you have lots of time now to grab that, hopefully using my affiliate links. And we're going to do a whole whack of magic with just the stamp set. So get ready for it. Scrapbook page and a card when it is the Tim Holtz featured portion of my National Scrapbook Day. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's try the purple. So again, if it's too wet, it's going to bleed into all the little nooks and crannies on the stamp, and you're not going to see it. Okay, so I'm going to try. Sometimes it's hard to pick up the detail, but I'm going to figure out lots of different ways for us to test these things to try to get the effects we want. If it's too wet, yeah, it's hard to get the detail, but I'm going to figure out a way, because there's different things we could do to try to make a stamp pad. Okay, let's see what happens when we just paint it on. If the brush isn't super, super wet, I still think we're going to lose all of the detail, because it's really detailed. Lots of like little thin lines in there. But oh my goodness, this purple. Can we just talk about that? If you're a purple lover. Yep, paint on felt, but we'll do it on baby wipes. We'll do it on baby wipes, right? But I'm not going to do that tonight because it's just more than I was planning on doing tonight. That's going to be on our National Scrapbook Day when we do the whole session with the stamp set and the watercolors. But this is just a background of mess. But look at how that paper holds its shape. That's the magic with foundations paper, right? Let's just kind of take some of the moisture out so you can see the pigment. When it's not wet and reflective, I want you to see what this looks like. We're going to do magical things with this. We're going to make a whole background. Oh my goodness, when the moisture leaves, I can see some of the pattern. I have like zero patience sometimes, so this is what I'm doing now. I'm going to lift the wet and you guys can see. So now it's not as wet, it's a little bit wet. But can you see? I know it's really hard on here, right, with the reflection. Oh my goodness, right? On this black, right? Foundations paper is black and white, right? Let's try. I grabbed a sheet of white. Let me show you what these look like on white. Let's do the things. So let's take this stencil that I haven't cleaned. So whatever we get at this point. Let's put the purple down. So I am going to take this and I'm going to put pigment right on my stencil. Okay, so it is pretty thick. The moisture has kind of left the background. So when I was in art school and we were doing like contrasting or complementary colors, did a project in purple and turquoise. And this is what we're going to do, because I'm going to put the pigment on here. We are going to do stencil stamping, which, you know, if you've been following me, this is a big thing. I started doing this because why would I want to, if I had put medium through a stencil and it was all sitting on top of my stencil, why would I want to waste it, right? So if we put this stencil down now, like say we had done something else with it and that was all on there, why would you want to waste it, right? So now I'm pressing that in to the background with a paper towel so I don't push the medium all over. Ooh, but we're going to make sure that, see how some of that purple went on the background? Let's pretend we meant for that to happen. So I'm just going to soften it a little. Right? Oh, totally love that. That is kind of peeking on here. So the next thing we could do is go through it now with Distress Oxide. And I'm going to go through with Mermaid Lagoon. Now, if I ink this and rub it on here and I start to pick the mica up, I don't want to contaminate my pad. So what I will do is have a paper towel handy and I will apply ink, clean my ink blending tool before I load it again. Okay. Because if I go in there and I don't want to put the watercolor onto my stamp pad. Okay. So I'm going to do this now before I go to reload it. Just make sure there's no mica on there so I don't get glitter all over my pad. And let's just lightly blend some of this in here. So we should end up, when we're done, I'm going to do just a little bit of watermarking. Now this will bleed under the stencil, so it's going to make it a little looser. You wouldn't want to add the water on here. I don't want to melt my stencil, but I am going to add a little heat just to speed it. And kind of keep the water in the little kind of openings. and then I'm going to lift it. But I don't want to melt my stencil, so don't get crazy up with the heat with plastic, okay? And then let's just lift some of that, and let's see what's left behind. See, I can see that the purple is still moving around because, right, non-porous. Oh my goodness, I freaking love it. So the stencil was dirty. It had purple. It had, oh my goodness, though. Can you see that? It had the purple in there. There was some yellow distress ink. Oh, yes. Let's do that. Let's do that next. Okay. So let's put a different color through. And this opening, I think, is going to be good. Let's do it. I don't want to do everything tonight because I want to save stuff for... Are any of these a baby wipe? Yeah, let's just get a new one. Yes, Denise, it does. Again, like I said, it's not something you should be stressed about because it's very subtle. I will notice it with some wet mediums that if they soak into the background really quickly, it's probably the back of the paper because it doesn't have the vellum finish on it, okay? Let's clean up our mat and let's go in there with the copper color, the gold. I'm going to go in with this kind of antique gold, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it on my stencil. Okay, that's pretty wet. You could ink the stencil. You could, oh, there's so many things. So many things are going through my head right now, friends. But we're going to do that thing I talked about with that one stamp set, right? That I think we could stamp through a stencil. It'd be really cool. So let's try that, okay? I'm in love with this what is this? Stencil. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to press that medium into the background. Watch what I'm going to do. Let's kind of force it. Let's force it. Force it. Try not to move the stencil, Vicky. I want it in my paper. So if I force that, hopefully I did move the stencil, but we'll go with it. Just go with it, Vicky. And let's see with this guy. This one is Tiny Prince. And I'm going to stamp with some archival because I think this will ink the stamp up the nicest. Okay. I can't show you because you guys will laugh at me. So that my eyelashes are on that case. So we have the copper. What if we go in there with Evergreen Bough? Let's try Evergreen Bough. Again, this is not on a stamp block. Well, we could put it partially on a stamp block because, ooh, you didn't see that just happen. Well, you did see it just happen, but let's pretend you didn't see me move it. And now I'm going to ink up this stamp, and we're going to stamp through. We're going to stamp through the stencil. With archival. Now, I'm not going to lie that there is now a little bit of a ledge, right? By having the stencil there. So we got to get the stamp to press through the openings. If this doesn't work, what you should put is a sponge, like a mouse pad or something underneath, so that your paper has a little bit of give, and then the stamp would come in contact through the holes. If nothing happens here, it's because, see, I needed something soft. Let's try what will happen if we have a layer of paper towels underneath it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It needs to get through the stencil. So I'm going to do it again. And we're going to put this to kind of give it a little bit of bounce. Oops. Because this would work, but you need to give it the tools to make it work. So, of course, I've already stamped this, right? So it's going to be kind of a mess, but most pad. Yep. Something that will give it some give. The other thing I could do without trying to move it all is I could press into or stamp onto the stamp. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm just pressing my hand underneath so we can get some of it transfer. Let's see. A little bit, but you get what I'm saying. Did it work perfectly? It did not, but with a little bit more practice. But look at that. The stencil. Oh my goodness. The stencil stamping. Love it. So I'm going to do something else though. Because how do we retrieve this little bit of a mess that Vicky made? It is there where I rubbed it with my fingers. I can see little blossoms in the openings. I love it. Did it work perfectly? It did not. Does it mean I wouldn't try it again? No, I just now know the things I need to do to have better success with the technique. Did you like my new nails? That I'm putting ink all over because it's how I roll. It will wash-ish off, right? So I could clean this and then try to position the stencil again. Okay. And then our next layer could be a little bit of distress ink. But I'm not going to go oxide. I'm going to go. That was my heat gun. Because that's how Vicky's rolling tonight. Let's grab. Old paper. We could, right? I'm going to use regular distress, not oxide, because I don't want to. I want it to be transparent. And I'm going to go in a color that kind of will work with what's down here. Right? And you could ink that and create. Let's cheat with a little bit of the look at that. Doesn't that look 3D? Can you see the dimension in that? So much love for this. So I wanted you guys to see how these mediums will work on white foundation. Let's do kissing technique. Right? I'm going to go through this stencil. Now again, because it's going to be pretty wet, it's all going to bleed under, but we're going to just go with it because this is what we do when we're just playing around with new mediums. So all this stuff just came, right? So what do? I mess around with it and see what kind of effects I can get. So I'm going to take that and make a little bit of a medium, and we're going to stamp it through this stencil and see what we get. Okay. Wet. And let's press it through. Is it going to bleed under the stencil? It is, but we're going to see. What are we going to get? Now we can do two different things here too. Watch. So it's going to bleed all under there. This is going to be really messy and wet, but we're going to press it in where we can. Now the other thing I like to do is sandwich that with, I'm going to just use the back side of this foundations paper. And what happens when we sandwich that? Because why wash it off, right? So I could get a little hint of a medium on the back. It's there. The pattern's there. And that could be a layer. And then let's see what happens when we lift it. Oh, so it had some ink on here. So look at that. And we could do this and make it bleed a little. Look at that, friends. And when you dry, like, see, when you dry it, that's all pure glittery pigment. Love it. These stamps and stencils, I'm telling you, I always think you guys should invest in things you could get tons of uses for. So I feel like this collection is something that is not just like a mouse in a teacup, where it's kind of has very limited use. I am going to do so many things with these sets of stamps and stencils, because here's the thing. I love Tim Holtz. I love what he makes. I have been a avid collector and user of his products for years and years. I love how they work with my products, with Simon Hurley, with all the other products that I use. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Like, look at that. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? The glitter with the yellow. Absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness. Let's do one quick background. We're going to do a quick background on white foundations. No, let's try it on black. So from what I just made there, I'm going to show you quickly so you have something to work on this weekend if you wanted to. I have to throw stuff around because I'm losing what I need. And I'm going to do a whole background on black foundations with that technique I just showed you, because it's going to be good. You ready? So what am I going to do? I'm going to use that same stencil and repeat it across a background. We are going to cover the stencil quickly first in fossilized amber oxide ink. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to do it on this one though, because it's clean. Okay. So I am going to take this stencil. I'm throwing stuff on the floor all around me. I'm going to clean this background off. And I'm going to show you a quick background using that stencil because it's magic. Okay. I'm going to run ink all over this. Trying not to get on the edges because I'm doing a layout background, right? Not going to wet it or anything. We're going to put this down right here, let's say, to start. Okay. Now we're going to do that kissing technique through the background. I'm not even really cleaning anything up because I don't need to. And then let's go in with the, let's go with the purple for fun. Okay. We are going to get tons of pigment down. We're going to kiss it through that stamp, that stencil. And that water is going to activate the oxide that we put on the stencil. It's going to bleed through. I might put a little bit of copper in there too. Just a little bit of the copper with the purple. Okay. Now we're going to kiss this into that stencil. We want it to get in there. Lift it. going to repeat it. So we're working with some different non-porous things, right? Plastic from the stencil, the plastic from the sheet that I'm putting down. We didn't get much there. I have to put some more pigment on there. I'm going to float it in, because why not? Put a couple dots. I don't know if there's enough mustard seed on here now to make another impression, but kind of. I don't want that pigment to move around too much. It's not a special plastic sheet. It literally is just a sheet of plastic that I have found or used for something else. I don't want my pigment to run, so I'm going to dry some of it, but then I do want some of it to run down the page. So the oxide is blending in there. Now we're going to tip it and get it to drip. I'm cheating. I want more drips. So we're going to get that to run. Oh, my goodness, friends. Look at that magic right there. I know, wait, the jar is totally swirling, but I would never normally use purple and yellow together, but some magical things just happen here. So let's just make it look like we did some little arts here. That background, what took how much time? I am in love. It kind of Halloween, right? But I could also do a beautiful floral background on there. Oh my goodness, look at that. With some stencil stamping, the purples, the mustard seed from the oxide ink, because the chalkiness of it, magic. Magic just happened right there. I wasn't lying to you when I told you tonight it was going to be good. And it's good. It's really good. These stamps and stencils are definitely an addition to be adding to your creative toolbox, because they're just basic shapes that you could use for multiple things. And I agree with the whole Halloween thing that Tim would love that, right? That would be like a total Tim Holtz color palette with those colors. It's almost like what is from Sleeping Beauty? Maleficent. It's like a Maleficent background. So if you were going to Disney and you like had something, it's super pretty. So you could use this for Halloween, but it doesn't have to be. What do you guys think, right? Die cut a butterfly out of that? 100%. Come and join me on Vicky Booten Creative Community group page on Facebook. So I am going to post my plans for International Scrapbooking Day and all those things. If you're like die cuts, whatever. And then we could do something really magical with all the backgrounds. Just stunning. These stamps and stencils with this black foundations paper is all kind of magic. And look at Vicky made literally messes everywhere. Messes everywhere. But look at, we could go on here now. Let's dry it a bit. And what I was talking about with the layers, You could make a card. You could make a background. You could just create it because it's fun. That purple, man. And the purple with the, when it mixed with the gold, the new color is kind of magical. So we could make some new pigment by mixing some of these colors together. So now I could go in here with all my dirty blending tools. But look at, find a little mask. Thank you, Natalie added a link to the group. Right, I'm gonna mask the rainbow because I don't want to use the rainbow. Right, but I do want to add some, I'm gonna mask that little star too. I only want right now the big one. Okay. Whoopee. Totally could be like a wizard vibe on this, couldn't it? And that's why this little mini stencil set is magical for just creating a little layered mixed media art backgrounds. Look at that. And now we'll go in with some of the smaller stars. That is what I'm trying to do, right? I always feel like if I do something that will appeal to scrapbookers, that you guys are going to be more likely to try some of the things. Because when I do classes, people will come in. If I do layouts, man, they're in there. They will come and do a layout class. If I moved my stencil, so that's not very sharp. If I do something and say, come and let me just teach you how to do mixed media using a whole bunch of mediums, people will not sign up for those classes if they're scrapbookers, because they think that, for multiple reasons, I'm not an artist, I can't do that, or I don't like to get messy, or mixed media is not my jam. And I feel like, yeah, let me have an hour of your time and I think I could change your mind if I sat and do it with you, right? So I love this page. I'm going to try to blend one star on here because I made a mess. But yeah, that's what the whole purpose should be for this, right? Is that you could totally do a scrapbook page on here. Look at that. How pretty is this background? There you go. Right? 12 by 12 layout. That's what I was doing, because I know a lot of you guys that are here are scrapbookers predominantly, right? Now, could you make this into a card? Yes, you have that other set of stencils that you could scale it down and just use a small, look at, you could do all of this for a card background with a smaller stencil. Totally love this. This set of stamps and stencils is absolutely magical. And of course, I brought a little Vicky to the party, so I used my mediums and my foundations paper. But really, why stamps and stencils are totally worth investing in is because the art is already done for you. You do not need to be a Picasso, a Michelangelo, you know, a Vicky Boutin. You could do all of these things. Look at, I just compared myself to Picasso. Yeah, didn't mean it like that. What I'm saying is you have all the tools that you need to create some beautiful stuff, right? So I'm going to flip the camera around and say good night. but I'm loving that. I really hope this inspires you guys to want to play this weekend. If you're watching after the fact, thank you. One of the things I'd love, if you are on Facebook or the YouTubes, can you make sure to thumbs up, like the video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do that. And I would love if after the fact you could leave a comment in the regular comment section. If you are watching on Facebook, make sure that you have liked and followed my artist page, right? So you don't miss when I go live and do all of the things. So it is such a little thing, but for anybody that you're watching on the YouTubes and you are consuming all of the content, it is the easiest thing to just give back, right? Is to do like a little thumbs up or like a video. So I would love that. So let me flip the camera here. Just a second. Hi. I look like I have a black eye because how the light is set up and I can't fix it. So just, I did not punch myself while I was working. But let's see when we flip it so you can see from the front. Do you see what I'm saying? How stunning is that, friends? Oh my goodness. Absolutely love this. What else did we make tonight? I threw stuff on the floor. It's all around here. You know what we made? I made a mess. But, oh, let me looky. Let me show you this one. So look at, this is with the turquoise. So this is stamped in oxide on the bottom. And that's with the turquoise watercolor and that new stamp set. We're going to be doing some magical things. So don't forget, International Scrapbook Day. I'm going to set up all of the details. I'll share what I'm going to be using. So if you want to play along, you can grab the things. I'm going to love that. I'm not going to be here next week, but I'll be here the following week because I have Crop and Create this weekend. So I'm going to be focusing all my time there. So I will see you. I don't know what the date is. I think it'll be May by then, right? Or maybe the end of April, but we'll do something special. Maybe make a layout out of some of the backgrounds that we did, okay? So if you want to join me back here for part 2, we can finish this page. Like this just is, it's a ready-made background, right? And all I did was stamp a dirty stencil twice and put some pigment through it, let it bleed like Plinko, and then did some stenciling with the stars. Like that literally is a background that you could sit and play with and finish it in 20 minutes. That's a 20-minute background. Let it dry and then put a layout on it. You could do a double just by duplicating the pattern right across the page, right? Is that Friday, May 5th already? But when is International Scrapbook Day? The 6th, right? The May 6th. So you're going to get a double header because I will show up on the Friday night for just kind of plans leading into, I think May 6th is International Scrapbook Day, right? So make sure you join me. I'm going to do more of what we did tonight. That's going to be one thing. And I'm going to order a second set of the one stamp set and the stencil to give away with my watercolor and my foundations paper. That's going to be a giveaway. We're going to be using the We Are Makers print maker. I'm going to show you how to do a whole bunch. I'm going to be practicing and show you how to do things with it. And I'm going to give a print maker away. And then I'm going to give a gift certificate to VickiBooten.com so that you can purchase my Where to Next collection and be a part of that event weekend. So you know I like to give back. It's going to be super fun. And maybe I will have some kind of special up in my store as well. So I love that. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you as always for joining me. If you're watching after the fact, hello friends. And don't forget, thumbs up. Make sure you've subscribed. And I would love if you could leave a comment after this fact, not in the live portion of the video. Super helpful for us to grow the community and have other crafters find us, right? And can come and play along. So thank you so much. I'm going to finish my packing, heading out with my daughter. Follow me on the YouTubes and the Facebook. I'll make sure I post some pictures from our travels. But otherwise, thank you very much. And as always, thank you to my sidekick, Natalie D'Souza, for posting all the links and helping us find all the things that Vicki rambles about.
So thanks so much. And another special thank you to Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous for this amazing release, for always inspiring, and for being so generous in sharing of the product so that I could show you all the fun things that I could do with it as well. So love it. Hope you guys get a chance to buy some of those things and show me what you're making as well. I'd love to see. So have a great night, guys. We'll see you later. Bye, friends.